Hello everyone, and I went to MagicCon Philadelphia. I'd love to tell you all about it. Oh my god, everything. I got to enjoy the spirit of Philadelphia, eating their burgers and pizzas. I got to play some Pioneer, a format that I don't always play, and I got to meet a lot of fans. So what is the whole point of this thing? What is the point of my trip? The point of my trip is to win some Ragavans. That's what we went there for, baby. Ragavan Nimble Pilfer. Going to be a super rare card. One of 128 produced because there's going to be 4 Magicons. Philadelphia. Next one's Minneapolis. The next one I think is Barcelona. I think the last one after that is Las Vegas. With 132 in existence. This thing's gotta be worth some money. And you know what? I thought it'd be worth $1,000, but it turns out this thing's retailing for $5,000. So this is probably the highest EV tournament I've ever been in, maybe even higher than the beta booster draft, because all you got to do is make the top 32. What is that? Hold on, let's calculate this thing for a second. If everyone gets a Ragavan, okay, hold on, top 32 times $5,000. Good God, it might be better to be playing in these secret lair showdowns than to actually go to Grand Prix. Super high EV event. Not only that, they also gave us, just for entering, they gave us these fatal pushes. They gave you one. I played in 2 events. I played on Friday and I played on Friday and I played on Saturday. Maximize my chance to get to day 2. See, I made the beta booster draft in Las Vegas and I wanted to ride the momentum, ride the wave. That's why I was in Philadelphia. So they gave us these fatal pushes. What they're worth, who knows? Because they were the very first time that, you know, these things were released at all. And it was interesting, when they got released, there were these rumors, going around that they were worth $100. $100, people. Like, that's some good money. It costs $150 just to enter the tournament, and for this fatal push to pay it off, that would be amazing. But here's the deal. We went to the vendors afterwards, and a lot of vendors were like, we'll give you $10. We'll give you $15. I'm like, that was not the rumored $100. So that we were hearing about over the tournament. And lo and behold, where do I got it here? Hold on. Where is it? Trying to find. There we go. I found it. Lo and behold, after the tournament. And I mean, we'll have to wait and see if this price holds. But Fatal Push is going for $172. And I guess a few of them have already sold. One sold 165, 165. 2 of them, I guess, sold. Latest sales, yeah, 165, 165, 176. Diamond hands. I held on to my fatal pushes. For $10, F them. I am not selling this for $10. If it was $10, I'd make it a giveaway for you guys. Maybe I should still make it a giveaway at 100. But you know, I'd like it to fund my future trips if you don't mind. Because I'll be there in Minneapolis. So if you just showed up and paid entry fee to the event, $150, you are already a winner. Because these fatal pushes already paid for your entry fee. Essentially. Are the fatal pushes curled already? Yes, they are curled already. I live in a super dry environment. I haven't double sleeved these things or anything. You can decurl them with humidity. Just leave it in your bathroom for a few days. It'll work. Yeah, the fatal Pringles. Fatal Pringles. Is that evil to offer 10 or 15? Or they say we don't know where? Well, the thing is, now, from their perspective, because here's the deal. Let's introduce a new character. MTG Ectoplasm. MTG Ectoplasm, host of the wonderful podcast MTG Ectoplasm, talking all about Pioneer and Spirits. He very humbly invited me over to his home to stay there. Saved me a lot of money. On hotel fees. I would say the number one thing that kills me on these trips is the damn hotel. They want like $225 a night, and I don't even spend much time there. It's just for sleeping. Someone, please, in all the major cities, make those Japanese pods charge me like $40 a night. I'd be totally happy with that. So, he wanted to sell his fatal pushes. So he was pressing the vendors. Hey, what are you selling it for? $10, screw it. $10, screw it. The thing is, they don't know what the price is. like when we looked up when they would look up Fatal Push on TCG Player, there are no listings, there are nothing. The vendors were completely in the dark. Like, they don't know what this thing is worth, and they don't want to charge too much for no reason. So they were like sort of, and they don't even know what the quantity was. They thought that this card was just being spread out to everybody, like no matter what event you attended. No, this is a Secret Lair Showdown exclusive card. And let me tell you, the attendance sorta sucked. The attendance, so in my event, there were 4 events. The Friday, they were held on both Fridays and Saturdays, one at 11 o'clock, one at 1 p.m. Now, the 11 o'clock on Friday was about 130-ish people, and at 1 o'clock it was 18. No, hold on, or was it 80 people on Friday? I think it was 80-ish people, 83, a 7-rounder. I don't remember, to be honest. It was relatively low, way lower than Vegas. In Vegas, it maxed out. They sold out 250. It was like 250 players per event. If anyone said that like they sold out at 1,000 players, that's fake news. I just remember I had this number 1,000 in my head, and 1,000 is just the limit of possible people playing in all 4 events, but it's divided out 250. So they got like 80-ish, I think, on Friday, 83 on also on Friday, and then 100 something, like 130-ish something on Saturday, and 11 o'clock also had like 60-ish or something. All in all, there's like something like 300 of these Fatal Pushes in existence currently at the moment. When Minneapolis comes around, there's going to be more. And then there's going to be more in Barcelona and so on. But right now, the quantity of Fatal Pushes in existence, and if you want them, if you want the playset of them, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. So they didn't know what the price was. They were in the dark. The vendors had no idea. So it's not necessarily evil. Now that they have the data, now that they know it's going for $160, maybe they'll give me my $100 that I wanted. Maybe they'll give me my $100. MTG second market doesn't seem reliable anymore. Well, there's so few cards on that. So, like, this is hot off the presses, remember. Hot off the presses. All right, so we have more things to say. So we, so where did we get to? What else do I want to say? Well, where's MTG Ectoplasm? Oh, yeah, MTG Ectoplasm. Great guy. Great guy. We talked Magic. We talked content creation. We talked many things. I can't see what... Okay, oh, and Handsome Dan. Okay, so on day 1, Handsome Dan, turns out MTG Ectoplasm is good buddies with longtime fan Handsome Dan, who's been part of my community for eternity. I had no idea. So I meet Handsome Dan for the first time. He's always posting pictures of his chicken coop and whatever he's building. Great guy. He built me 3D printed deck box with my old Bunny of Waves logo on it. So I really appreciate this from Handsome Dan. I can now store... I actually should have been storing my cards in this the entire weekend, because my loose deck box was like sort of crappy. So we got the Planeswalker symbol here. We got the Bunny of Waves for any of the old timers. We got like some nice art deco, and then in the inside it says, "Smile, you're in exile." When I exile things, I'm going to put it in the box. So thanks so much to Handsome Dan for this beautiful 3D printed deck box. Love it. Okay, so he was the driver on day 1 as we go to the Magic Fest. Sorry, Magic Con. That's what they're called. What was I playing that day? I was playing Blue, White, Spirits, and Pioneer. How did I do in my events? I actually did really well. We're going to get to those results. So I played Blue, White, Pioneer, Spirits. I actually had a bit of a heart attack because I couldn't find Henge Gate pathways in time. I owned 1, and I was waiting since January to own more, and they would never become available anywhere at any local game store near me. And I've got 5 of them, and so and the time was ticking. And fortunately, MTG Ectoplasm really helped me out there, finding me all the Henge Gate pathways and a last minute what I need, a Cemetery Illuminator, which actually helped me crush an Izzet Phoenix deck. Actually, that card was really powerful against Izzet Phoenix. Now, heads up, I got this whole deck list deck list and sideboard guide from Spirit Squad MTG. His sideboard guide and his videos helped me big time in preparation, and he's been killing it in the league, not just leagues, but the preliminaries, and the modern challenges with this blue-white build. I wanted to go Bant Spirits, but the Bant Spirit lists suck. They had a bunch of one-ofs. The mana base was garbage. They didn't really update the mana base to like with the new dual lands, like what's it called? Seachrome Coast. Seachrome Coast was the new dual land that came out, but they also had access to Razorverge Thicket. So the list sucks. The mana base sucked. I wanted to go with his list because his list was super squeaky clean. Super clean list. Now, it was basically mono blue spirits. Huh. Just asking, did you ever not do great in paper events? Oh, yeah. If you think like I'm invincible, that's nonsense. I've 0-2 scrubbed out of tons of events. 0-2, 0-3. There was one event, I don't know, 7 years ago where I went 0-7. But we don't talk about that anymore. We don't talk about that anymore. Yeah, the pathways are nice. I mean, I didn't get play with exactly all these arts. I had the art for Darkar Wastes. I had the art. I didn't have the pathway art. Gonna have to upgrade them arts. I accidentally also stole, like, I was borrowing these pathways from MTG Ectoplasm. Turns out I stole them. I forgot to give them back. Sorry about that, MTG Ectoplasm. I also have one of your Cemetery Illuminators. When you're done your events, give back your cards to people. Otherwise, you're gonna have to mail them to the people. Oh, thank you much, Handsome Dan. Handsome Dan's a great guy. Talked a lot with him as well. Tommy Sin says, my worst loss this weekend got Goblin Charbelchered in a mountainless sealed deck. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, and I met Tommy Siddons. I met Tommy. I was window shopping for Magic cards. My window shopping was great, by the way, because eventually I did do some shopping. You know I made this tournament report might be all over the place. So I'm window shopping, right? And I end up getting 3 beta Blue Elemental Blast. Great prices, because they're pretty expensive. And I got some near mints to mints for about $40 US each. Like, really good condition. If there's any nicks or scratch, it's really minimal. So I got really good prices on all these. I wish I could shout out the vendors that sold them to me, because some of them were like I saw some really beat up Blue Elemental Blast for going for like $50-$60. I'm like, F it. I know where to get them really cheap, because I was window shopping around. I'm getting them for my Pauper deck because I got 1 Blue Elemental Blast from my Vegas 30 beta booster draft. So now that I got 1, I gotta complete the playset. So we've completed the playset with Blue Elemental Blasts, so I can blow up all those stupid Monster Swiss Spears and all those other stupid cards. And lo and behold, while I'm window shopping, Tommy Siddons bumps into me. And I was like, I didn't hear his last name at first, so but then he very slowly said his name, Tommy Siddons, and I realized, yeah, that's the guy. He never misses a Coffee and MTG. So you got Goblin Charbelchered in a Mountainless Seal deck, which killed me with 9 non-land cards off the top. Wow, what a greedy deck! What a greedy deck. Wait, you're making a paper Pauper deck? Yeah, I got to make sure that I have mono blue fairies available for Pauper. So I actually have the whole deck. I'm not missing anything. So I just wanted to complete I had white border, Blue Elemental Blast. That's not gonna cut it for me. I want the black border. I like this. It's actually not a bad picture. I like that big wave over there. Beta. Wow, you are an MTG conservationist. Yes. Witherfang says, I just spent 4,000 Swedish crowns on Modern. It was way cheaper than I thought to build an Omnath deck. Yeah, you never know. All right, what next? Okay, so back to the deck list. Yeah, so it's basically mono blue spirits. Oh, we can't talk about this yet. We got to quickly thank our sponsors. You know them sponsors. Uh-oh, hold on. Let me get the sponsors up. All right, before we get into all the other stuff, we got to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. What is the deal of the week this week? Hey, if it wasn't for Fusion Gaming, I wouldn't have gotten any of these spirit cards. 95% of my spirit cards came from Fusion Gaming, because Fusion Gaming is the first place I look when I buy any of my singles. So if you want to get anything from All Will Be One or March of the Machines coming up, Dominaria Remastered, you know where to look. You go at FusionGamingOnline.com. Deal of the week this week, 15% off all mystery booster singles and sealed product. And as it is, there's always a new deal of the week, so always check in on Fusion for the new deal every week. Get an additional 5% off when you use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Even I get to use my coupon code, and I do. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. And I had such a good record at MagicCon Philadelphia because I was playtesting Pioneer, not with my own cards. I still don't own Pioneer Spirits in Pioneer. I was renting from Mana Traders. I tried out Mono Blue. I tried out Bant. And in the end, it was Azorius that stole my heart. Actually, that's not true. I love Mono Blue the most, but I thought the deck sucked the most. I didn't like Bant Spirits, but it's the deck I thought was the best. But the list in the end, the lists were all trash. They're all garbage. I didn't like them, so I went with Azorius. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at Nikachu_3RS for 10% off your first 2 months. And back. Okay, back to the list. I gotta move my head a little bit so you can see the rest of the deck list. Because the deal is, so it's basically, it's literally like Mono Blue, if you look at it, but with some upgrades. So we're upgrading Mono Blue with like Spectral Sailors, so you have a little bit more game versus Supreme Verdict, and also Spell Queller, a fantastic counterspell in the format right now. And also Portable Hole to interact with, like my problem with Mono Blue is it had no interaction, like for the ground. So if anyone gets on the ground early and fast, you're dead. You're just dead. So like Mono Blue is really good at being like a counter spell deck and like just tempoing people out, but it was just terrible versus all aggro decks. Whereas this deck gives you way more game in the form of Portable Hole and Skyclave Apparition. So that's what I really liked about this archetype. It was a very clean list. No Mutavaults, only Hall of the Storm Giants, which did get in for victory a few times. What else to say about this deck list? No, that's about it. Smooth, clean. I like the numbers. And again, Spirit Squad MTG, if you want the videos on spirits and also the Cyborg Guide, go check out his community. Highly recommended. Cyborg Guide worked perfectly. Worked perfectly. Good morning, West Coast Games. And also TCG Dude. Oh, I made it back safely. Don't worry, I'm not afraid of planes. So, okay, let's get into some of the matches. Okay, now I said, hold on, let me enlarge. It's funny, I said this deck has more game versus the aggro decks, but actually it still gets fisted by them. So round one, tournament one, round one, I'm up against Mono White Humans. Terrible matchup. Oh, I should say what are the good matchups and bad matchups for this deck. Okay, why would you want to play Azorius Spirits right now? Because it absolutely crushes some decks. So it crushes Mono Green. It crushes Lotus Field. It crushes combo and clunky stuff. It's just a buy. I never felt like the wins I had with this deck, I never felt like that in Modern. Never. In Modern, I'm always grinding wins with Merfolk. There's no easy wins, even when it's a good matchup. With this deck, some matchups are like, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter if I mulligan a 5 or I'm on the draw, I'm gonna win it anyway. It doesn't do anything. Handsome Dan says, I appreciate that you said Force and Negation in Ether Vial to my wife in real life has been a long-running gag in my house for forever. Because Handsome Dan always has my videos on at his home, and the only things, the wife will hear or just come to recognize are the words that I just say often over and over again. Ether Vial, Force of Negation. Counterspell. Lord of Atlantis. Does anyone else have wives like that? They just pick up on certain words they hear over and over again. Thoughts on adding Wandering Emperor to this list? Too clunky, I think. Probably it's playable in some capacity, but I don't know what you would want it versus. All right. Okay, we are up against Mono White Humans, and what I remember is I got fisted by Brutal Cathar. It crushed me. Absolutely obliterated me. Like Brutal Cathar after Brutal Cathar after Brutal Cathar. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature and opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. I had no chance. So we already start. So welcome to Philadelphia. We're starting it off with a round 1 loss. Next, I don't know what is a key card in this. No, let's get Shieldred. Shieldred. All right, next up, round 2. I'm up against Rakdos. Now, tough matchup. Not gonna lie, but that's why we got the Cemetery Illuminator. That's also why we've got the Hold on, let me get rid of some stuff here. That's also why that we've got the Reckoner Bank Buster card. It's like, it's an art, basically it's a vehicle that I can pay to tap and draw a card. And Cemetery Illuminator is a good card. It exiles card types from graveyards. Like, exiles the card, and then I can play that card type off the top of my library. Pretty neat stuff. Cool tech, in my opinion. Okay, so round 2. I don't really remember this match very well, except I didn't feel like my opponent was very seasoned with their archetype, and I somehow outplayed them to a victory. Although I think, hold on. No. I actually have... It might have been the opposite. Because I have, like, basically a short-term, short deck report on Twitter. I can just reference. I'm almost there. All right. I got it. All right. Okay, round 2. Played patiently around removal and had to answer every removal spell. Ah, yes, I remember. Okay, so something key. One of the best cards in this deck is Curious Obsession. Now, this is how I approach Curious Obsession. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. This is the best, like, I don't want to say it's the best card in the deck, but it is like the fuel, the engine to the deck. If you keep smacking someone with a Curious Obsession on your creature, you're going to win the game. Effectively. Sometimes you will get really unlucky, but if it sticks and your opponent cannot defend themselves, then they lose. So here's the deal with Curious Obsession. Here's my plan. I need to make sure that it sticks. All right, I don't want to be like, play a Curious Obsession on my creature. They use a removal spell. I use a counter spell, but I'm tapped out. I attack for whatever, draw a card, and then they untap and kill my creature. No. We can't have that. In my opinion, if you are at card parity, you'll lose versus Rakdos. You want to be ahead, in my opinion. So what you want to do is, I did not play... I had my Curious Obsession. I could have played it on turn 2, but I didn't. I waited till turn 3. I can't remember. I might have waited till turn 4. But basically, I played Curious Obsession when I knew I could protect from a removal spell on my turn and protect versus a removal spell on their turn. And I did play patiently, and the Curious Obsession helped win me that match. It could have been bad. Things could have been terrible. All right, so next match, round 3. We're up against Rakdos again. Welcome to Philadelphia. 3 bad matchups in a row. And, but I get lucky in this case. This is the one where I get lucky, because in the games that I won, they first got mana screwed, and then they got mana flooded. That's magic for you. It happens. The Rakdos gets... Yeah, you can scam people in Modern, you can scam people in Pioneer. Dom says, my wife likes Soul Ring. My girlfriend loves Harbinger of the Tides. Oh yeah, okay. What else do we have here? Keen Sense and Curiosity are great too, different formats. That's true. The downside to Curious Obsession is you have to attack with a creature every turn or you lose it. You use it or lose it. That's how it works with Curious Obsession. But my approach is to play patiently with tempo decks, make sure I get maximum value. That's how I play in Pioneer. I don't want to put my ninjutsu creature in play immediately. Why do that and let it die, like on my opponent's following turn? I want it to stick. I play things for it to stick, and then when it sticks, that's when you get the advantage. If I can draw 2 or more cards off of Curious Obsession, that's when I'm ahead. Because if I only draw 1 card, it pays for the Curious Obsession, but it doesn't pay for, like, my creature dying. It's just like it's like a 2 for 2, basically. Or it's a 1 for 1 in the end, anyway. All right, what do we got next round? I was up against Mono Green Devotion. Well, let's put, I don't know, Old Growth Troll. This matchup's a bye. It's easy. It's one of the reasons you want to be playing Spirits. If you have a lot of Mono Green in your metagame, any version of Spirits will destroy them. Mono Blue, Azorius, Bant. It's just a bye. They are a little too clunky overall. All you need is a little bit of interaction. We have the interaction for everything. We have counter spells that hit the creatures. We have counter spells that hit the There's a 5-mana sorcery that you'll reveal the top, like, X cards of your library or whatever, and put permanent lands onto, I think, lands or permanents on the battlefield. We have counterspells for the planeswalkers. We have counterspells for everything. So you just counter what's necessary. Oh, yeah, mono green. Very easy matchup. I played against mono. This was I think, my only good matchup in this tournament. So there's not much to be said, and it was a win. Next, I go up against Artifact Aggro, which is annoying. What is the... Let's just go put orange. No, I'm going to put Ginger Brute, because that was the card that ended up doing me in. It was a close match, because they have a lot of enablers, but they don't have a lot of beef. But I did end up losing in 3 games to stupid Ginger Brute. I couldn't block this damn thing. I can't remember what I did. I did bring in, like, the portable holes that helped, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. I was up against this stupid Artifact Aggro deck. And maybe I played a little loose with my life tool. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't exile the right thing. There was an equipment that gave +3/+0, or maybe it was +2/+0 to something, and they put it on. I exiled a Bomat Courier with the portable hole. That's what I did. And they had a lot of cards under that Bomat Courier, and I didn't want to give them all those cards. Can't catch him. He's the Ginger... No, he's the Ginger Brute, man. The Ginger Brute. King Ginger Brute. The secret to portable hole. The Mana Dorks. That's correct. Portable hole is good for the Mana Dorks, but it was really good versus this deck. But it wasn't good enough. So the Artifact Aggro deck got me down. I'm X2, and I'm dead. I'm dead for making day 2. That was too bad. So, but there's still another day. And I'm still playing for prizes, so I still play on. Next, I'm up against the Enigmatic Incarnation deck. What is that? Incarnation. This thing. So, I don't know what my matchup is like against this. It's a clunky combo deck. It's an enchantment deck. Like, at the beginning of your end step, you may sack another enchantment. If you do, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed enchantment's converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. So you sack enchant... Like, there's all sorts of enchantments that hit the battlefield. Like, for example, Leyline Binding. So they exile your creature, and then they blow up their Leyline Binding to find a super big creature on the battlefield. It's like Birthing Pod in that way. But you sack your enchantments instead of creatures. I can't remember what the win condition is. When the game got bad, I just left. I got out of there. I had to run. I don't have any sound effects for, yeah. When there was too much going on for my opponent, I just scooped and we went to another game. But I did slap this deck around over the weekend, and they said, like, the matchup is like 60-40 my favorite. The thing is, they've got some bombs in the, like, they still have, like, Supreme Verdict. They had that enchantment, white 1 generic, that scoops up all the other enchant. I think they had that. Maybe I'm wrong. But they had a lot of good cards versus me. No, they definitely had that enchantment that swept up all the cards on the all the cheap cards on the ground. I forgot Leyline Binding wasn't Modern Horizons. No, it's not. That was a real card. Yeah, Leyline Binding it looks like a Modern Horizons card. No, it's just a regular card. Okay, so we beat the Enigmatic Incarnation deck. And then I'm up against Angels. Oh, what's an angel there? Bishop of Wings. Okay, game 1. Okay, I get lucky here. So this was a day I am up against terrible matchups. Brutally bad matchups, but I get lucky. So my opponent goes turn 2 Bishop of Wings, but is stuck on 2 lands. And they do nothing. They played 1 other card at 2 mana. I countered it, and they could not find a 3rd land to do anything else, and they lost. Bishop of Wings is whenever an angel enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. Not what the Spirit Dex wants to see. It's not like I'm pulling out a ton of power. I'm only attacking for like 3 or 4 damage a turn. And whenever an angel you control dies, create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. And they got flyers. They got blockers for my stuff. So that was game 1. Game 2, I believe they flooded out. They flood out hard. Got lucky in both games. Game 1, they were mana screwed. Game 2, they flooded out after a few counters. That's it. I countered a few things, and the deck petered out to do nothing. Yeah, MTG Ectoplasm can agree. Angels is a brutal matchup. Oh, I also want to say I wore the MTG Ectoplasm merch. This was a great time to wear the merch because I was gonna play Spirits that day, and we have MTG Ectoplasm. I couldn't tell until I was far enough back, but he had like a Boo from Mario, which I thought was pretty cool. So what did I get? Okay, so what do you get when you go 5-2? I got a secret lair. So they gave you, I think they gave you a secret lair for just being there, but they gave you another secret lair for going 5-2, and I got a box of All Will Be One. I don't have them on me, so they gave me a box and this. So overall, everything paid for themselves. So now we go to day 2. We go to Saturday. All right, now I'm excited to try to win some I'm pumped up to win some more Ragavan. This is what's on the line here. You want to see? Let's look at this thing from past times. They had a little. Ooh, this is loud. Okay, it's a little loud. F that. So we could get some fatal pushes. That's what I'm going. That's what I came here for, though. I wanted some Ragavans. I already went 5-2 in one event, and I was up against terrible matchups. Like 5 out of 7 of those matchups were garbage. The Rakdos, the green-white, the humans, the green-white angels. I want some good matchups. If I get some good matchups, we can win some Ragavans. And there's that brainstorm. That is a 1 of 4 brainstorm on the face of the earth. Just went to that one guy. There's somebody was asking people for the secret lair prize card sleeves. They wanted like a full 40. Anyway, I gave them to them. And I just re-sleeved my secret lair cards in regular sleeves. I don't know. What do you think? What is the value of the secret lair sleeve? Maybe it's going to go up in value after this tournament. Open it on stream. I bet you got Shadowborn Apollo. No, I'm not. I don't know. What are these things worth? Like it's a random secret lair? I'm not a person who opens stuff. Because I always open garbage. I'm terrible at this. We got Kellogg. Okay, you want to see all the secret lairs I got? Okay, so this is for winning and also for attending events. I got Kellogg Sloops. I got Nils Ham. I think that's the person who made Baleful Strix. I got Livia Prima. And I got two Livia Primas. Oh, that's, I don't know if that's a good thing or is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't even know what this is. Okay, I'm curious all of a sudden. We're gonna look up Livia Prima secret lair. The Artist Series. Oh, these are pretty cool. Are they any good? Are the cards good though? I got a Chroma. It could be a Chroma, Mikius, Olivia, or Glissa. Well, these are meaningless to me. They're meaningless to me as a modern Pioneer player. All right, let's get back to the matchups. If you ever need to get a Utopia Sprawl, Mystic Remora, Kellogg Sloops is worth it. Oh, Mystic Remora. I like Mystic Remora. Dude makes excellent art. Gotta love the Bairn. Honestly, you got some great secret lairs. Would love the... Oh, yeah. The Nils Ham one is going to be gold. I know that much for sure. I was trying to get the Skiing Shivan Dragon from a random person. The Shivan... That's like a... Wasn't that like a $5,000 secret lair or something? It's very expensive. And they were handed out randomly. These are all random. Like, there is a box of them, and they're just handed out. They don't know who's it going to. They don't even know what they're handing out to people. The current deck I'm most excited for in Pioneer must be creativity. There is no creativity in the field. Like, the pros just, like, randomly played that thing. I guess it was well-positioned versus Rakdos Mono Green and Lotus Bloom, hence why they went that direction. But I didn't see it. Nobody saw it coming. Okay, so what else do we have here? Okay, where's my phone? Okay, day 2. I want some Ragavans. You know I want some Ragavans, people. That's the whole point of being there. Let's get... On Saturday, we're up against Incarnation again. And I'm up against an NRG grinder. I think Robert Hayes is his name. I'm like, I recognize this name. So I'm up against an NRG grinder. And win easily, 2-0. Nothing but creatures and counter spells. I just played the creatures, interaction, didn't let them do anything. At the end of the match, he's like, I hate this matchup. And I don't blame him. Now, interestingly enough, I did help his tiebreakers because he ended up winning the rest of his games after that, which is a lesson. Hey, even if you lose round 1, you still have a chance, because Robert Hayes went undefeated after losing to me, went straight to the top 8 and got his own Ragavan. I can't say I did the same thing for myself. So that's the thing. You have the heart, have the spirit, and always be rooting for your opponents, because they'll also help your tiebreakers. So he helped my tiebreakers, which was great, because usually the person you beat round 1, usually not going to help your tiebreakers very much, because it usually spirals out of control after that round 1 loss. Would you be willing to sell one of the Livia's secret layers to me? It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. I'm going to sit on these for a little while and see what I think about them. I don't even know what they're worth right now. The reason I'm excited for it is because I've always sort of wanted to see the Xenagos World Spine Worm be competitive. It's competitive now. It won a Pro Tour. And we're going to say, that's an interesting thing. This is, we just saw a Pioneer Pro Tour. Okay, story time with Nikachu. I pulled all my opponents. Nobody plays Pioneer. I want to say nobody. I would say 20% of my opponents play the format. 80% don't. That, which was good for me, because I don't really play the format. I mean, I played as much as I could to prepare for the event, but most people don't play the format. It sort of is being forced on them. Hence why these events never sold out. Most of the people were modern players or limited players or something else, but they didn't play Pioneer. Now, some people were committed to Pioneer. Now that we have a Pro Tour, however, that featured Pioneer, now people will be like, oh, I want to play Pioneer now. The pros played this deck. I'm interested in playing this Lotus Field deck. I want to play this Auras deck that made the finals. I want to play, I believe the Auras deck made the finals. I didn't actually see the finals. I want to play this Creativity deck. So maybe that will spark real organic interest in the format, because at the time was not organic. Have to say, people were there. People played the event just because that was the format. And in some way, that was the same thing with me. I mean, if I want to for fun, I will play Modern, but I would never go, like, I generally speaking will not go out of my way to go play Pioneer unless that's the event that I had to play. Modern for life, that's right, Modern. But after the Pro Tour, now maybe that will spark some very genuine organic interest in Pioneer. Just a side note there. All right, next I lose to Bant Spirits. That sucked. What's a Bant card? I guess Collected Company. I did win one game, but overall, I remember. Can we get a card coming up? So against Bant Spirits, what really did me in is in game 3, I'm on the play. I had a really awkward weak hand. It was 4 lands, Curious Obsession, Supreme Phantom, and a Spell Pierce, and I'm like, this does not look like a very good hand. And I mulliganed down to a 5-card hand that was very similar. It was, again, with the Curious Obsession and a creature and, like, a counterspell and a bunch of lands. And I can't remember what I kept. I just kept a bunch of lands, Curious Obsession. Or maybe I kept 2 lands and the rest of the interaction. And I just lost. Eventually, I could not defend versus 2 removal spells, 2 portable holes. One of the post-board games was funny. It was like, portable hole your thing, portable hole your portable hole to take something else. Portable hole. I didn't end up portable holing their portable hole. I just portable holed their stuff. But there was like a million portable holes on the battlefield. Hey, was a mill deck you seen or heard of being at the event? No, I didn't hear or see a mill deck. Matthew says, organic as in you're a little flower and they dump a truck of manure on top of you and you just got to sit through it. That's right. They dumped that manure. So I lost to Bant Spirits. Not how I wanted to start anything off. Grease Fang. This is a buy. This is another matchup. Why? It's another one of those combo decks, just a supreme buy. You just deal with the Grease Fang. Or even if the Grease Fang resolves, like, there are ways of interacting with, like, you could tap down the they put a vehicle on the battlefield, and then you can tap down the vehicle with Shackle Guys. So game 1, I just interact with the Grease Fang and counter and, tempo them out. Game 2, I also win. They mulligan to 5. It's a poor hand, but I'm just loaded with too much interaction, and they had no chance from here. My friend Tom is pretty pumped to get his to get his Master of the Pearl Trident signed by you. Oh, did I get I've signed a lot of cards. Huge shout out to everybody who shook hands with me, took selfies. I signed all their stuff. I love doing that. I wish I spent more time upstairs. Okay, time for criticism time of the event. They put all the gameplay on the bottom floor. They separated like the con from the tournament, and then like the Pro Tour from the con. So Pro Tour, 3rd floor, very nice venue. The con on like 2nd floor, and what I say con is like the commander tables. So the commander area, the vendors, the game nights live. I think like whatever felt like a con, and all the sets and the cosplayers were on that floor. Bottom floor absolutely sucked. It was just a gameplay. It felt like a random Grand Prix. I can't say the atmosphere felt great. You know, nobody was really there. Some cosplayers went down there, but not really. It was just basically there for gameplay, and I didn't like that. Apparently the vendors didn't like that either, because like they separated the vendors from the tournament players. That's not good for business. So I wish that they, in the future, just like they did in Vegas, like they have the tournament area on the same floor as the con, where you hear all the nice music and the nice atmosphere and all that other stuff. So when I'm done a game, I can go browse around the con, because when I was done a game on the bottom floor, I can't go anywhere. I'm not going to go upstairs. I can't run back down for my next match. So anyway, that was no good. Okay, so round 3, I beat Greasefang. And then I play against Mono Red Aggro. What's a good card here for Mono Red Aggro? Torbrand. Torbrand was played against me. Torbrand! MTG Ectoplasm. It felt like a GP with extra somewhere else. Yeah, it was like a GP with extra. There was more space though than Vegas. Vegas was cramped as hell. So I mean, I'll give them credit. They gave us space. We had plenty of breathing room. Oh, was it Torbrand? The 2 floors, it's actually 3 floors, because there was the Pro Tour. It was weird, but kind of was nice to have a split a little bit. I did not like that. I want one big giant floor. Okay, anyway, I got my teeth kicked in by this card. Oh, I know, Goblin Chain Whirler. That 4 for, like basically 5 for zeroed me. Game 1 was rough. They're too aggro. Like, the Spirits doesn't do well versus aggro. No good. I don't love it. Spirits, not great. And then game 2, I lose game 1, and game 2, I have like 2 Spectral Sailors on the board. 2 Spectral Sailors, I think, and 2 other 0/1 1 toughness creatures. And the Chain Whirler, Rattle Chains, 2 Rattle Chains. And the Goblin Chain Whirler wiped them all out. Because when it enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and Planeswalker they control. So I'm X2 again. I'm X2. So now I can't win that delicious. I can't win that delicious Ragavan anymore. The dream of the Ragavan is dead. I gotta wait until Minneapolis, which, by the way, I will go to. I will go to Minneapolis. It's in the books. Okay, I lose to that. Then I beat Gruul Vehicles. I do have one funny story about Gruul Vehicles. I don't remember a card from Gruul Vehicles. What do they play? Because the vehicles never came. Oh, the boat. Sky Sovereign. Is that what it's called? Something Sky Sovereign. Can you run counterspells for Chain Whirler? Yeah, but like you need them open. That's not easy. So here's the thing. Okay, one funny thing. I do win this match cleanly 2-0, but in one of the matches I got terrified because I got a Curious Obsession on my creature turn 2, and I drew a card. And then next turn I drew an extra card. Turn 3 I draw an extra card. Turn 4 I draw an extra card. But they're all lands. I have like 11 lands on the battlefield, and I still have more lands in my hand. I can't draw creatures. I can't draw interaction. And my opponent is staring at me with 7 cards in hands like, I have nothing else to do with my turn. I gotta play the Sky Sovereign. And like, if you got a counterspell, you got a counterspell. And I'm like, it resolves. And he's like, what? So destroys my creature. I don't even remember how I won this one. Oh, I top deck like a Shacklegeist to tap down the damn Sky Sovereign at the last second, so I could squeeze in the last few points of damage. But yeah, I got terrified there. I flooded out so hard, even though I was drawing an extra card every single turn. I had 11, and I think I won with a Hall of the Storm Giants because that was in the list. Oops. Hall of Storm Giants. I did attack with this thing a few times. I can't spell. I did attack for victory with this card a few times. You have the city's blessing. Yeah, I did have the city's blessing. Have you ever been to a Star City Games tournament in India? Have you ever been? I've never been in Indianapolis, but I have been to a Star City Games event in Minneapolis. Where do I find info about the Minneapolis event? It's not available yet. I think they just mentioned it's going. They might have mentioned the date. You might have to look up MagicCon Minneapolis on Google. Oh, it's Hall of Storm Giants. Or is it? No, yeah, it's Hall of Storm. Okay, whatever. I don't have time for this. Okay, next match, Mono Green. I do lose one game. Here, let's get Nykthos, because that's what it was all about. My opponent played Nykthos over and over and over and over again. Can we get Nykthos on the screen here? Mono Green was an easy matchup. Sort of. I did lose one. There was a time where they like played Nykthos and then untapped it with Kiora and made 1,000,000 mana. And it was the first time that I saw someone pull out a 20-sided die just to count Devotion. I thought that was pretty clever. That was pretty good. Do you charge for signatures? Absolutely. Like in person? No, absolutely not. If you want a signature, just make sure you just hail me out and I'll get your signatures. No problem. I don't think anyone charges. Well, okay, so the artists charge for signatures, but that's a different deal. Oh, and we have to get to that. Okay, so I got, I beat Mono Green, and I beat Lotus Field in the last round. Lotus Field. Another easy matchup. So that is the benefit of playing Azorius Spirits. Okay, hold on. We gotta get... Let me change the music a little bit here. Change the mood a little bit. Okay, so I beat Lotus Field, which is another combo deck. So in my Saturday event, things were great. I like just obliterated everyone. I just got unlucky. I had one bad matchup and then I just like ran out of gas in one of the matchups and banned Spirit. So things did not exactly go my way in that regard, but the matchups were way easier, and that is the benefit of playing Bant Spirits in Pioneer. There's a lot of really good matchups in the format right now. So sorry, Azorius Spirits. I think any variation of Spirits. Azorius Spirits, particularly because you take less damage from your mana base compared to Bant. So one thing I didn't like about Bant is you took a lot of damage from your mana base. And they didn't really evolve the deck with Razor Verge Thicket or take full advantage of those new lands that have been printed into the format. Okay, so let's talk. Okay, tournament's done. Let's get rid of all this stuff. MTG Ectoplasm. Oh, what? How do we not forget about this? How do we not forget about... Okay, we gotta talk about this. Wawa Coffee. Everyone's like, you gotta get the Wawa Coffee, Nikachu. And MTG Ectoplasm reminded me, hey, everyone told you to get Wawa Coffee. All right, we're gonna go to Wawa. We're gonna see what this is all about. People wanted to send me the Wawa Coffee. So let me tell you what about Wawa Coffee. I thought it was absolute trash. That is garbage. No, yeah, the legendary Wawa. You can unsubscribe to me if you feel offended. This is the absolute worst coffee I've ever tasted in my life. I tried their dark roast, which it's watered down nonsense. And the cup holder couldn't even fit or stay there. The size was wrong, and also it kept falling down. And the coffee wasn't even good. The coffee was really bad. It was so watered down. I think this is the most overrated cult-like establishment I've ever heard of. So what MTG Ectoplasm says, why don't you try out the Quick Check? The Quick Check across the street. It's their direct competitor. That's basically the same damn thing. Yeah, there goes that sponsorship. Well, maybe I want a sponsorship from Quick Check. Because I tried their coffee, and it was a banger! It was so good. And the cup holder fit and everything. You look at my smiling face. And I told the person at the cash register, like, this coffee is infinitely better than Wawa. And they said, we hear that all the time. People go to Quick Check only for the coffee, they say. Well, I don't know, only for the coffee, but like, people go out of their way to get the coffee from Quick Check. It's like, it was like night and day. Now, benefit to both Quick Check and Wawa that they give you a lot of different types of creamers that you could use. I chose their oat milk. I'm a person who drinks a lot of oat milk because I'm like lactose intolerant. I mean, I can have milk, but it'll just give me gas for no reason. Wawa sandwiches are pretty good during a road trip. Their coffee and most other things are they're very overrated. Wawa coffee is straight trash. Actually, there was a few people at the event, at the venue, that had Wawa sandwiches. They loved it. I never ate one. I can't speak for them. But yes, this is absolute worst coffee I've ever heard. Now, quick check. Best coffee. Actually, it was really good. I think it was on par with Starbucks, to be honest. And I just had a regular coffee, the regular brew. It was very flavorful, very tasty. I love the smell of it. It was great stuff. If you're ever in Western Philadelphia, like Pittsburgh, go to Sheetz. That's funny. Lord Magicus said that. So Lord Magicus, where are we? Lord Magicus, actually huge fan of Sheetz. I did not actually get to try out Sheetz, but yeah, he's pumping up Sheetz as well. Why are they called Quick Check? That sounds like the name of a payday loan place or something. I don't know. Maybe that's how it evolved. They're both gas stations, though. If you want real coffee, try Moroccan coffee. I'm sorry, I couldn't find that. So Quick Check, 2 thumbs up. Wawa, 2 thumbs down. Absolute garbage. Never go there again. I'm sorry. I should have warned you about Wawa. What the hell is up with everyone? You know, it's like a cult-like thing with like Tim Hortons, effectively. Like Tim Hortons, it'll do the job, but the coffee tastes like trash. But you get what you pay for. You're paying. It's very cheap coffee around here. Okay, what else? Okay, big fun thing. Not the artist series. Hold on. No, I want to get things in. Okay, so I'm browsing the floor and I get to the artists, and lo and behold, there's my avatar. So for anyone who watches my gameplay content, that's my avatar right down here. This cat with the paw up and everything, the chubby meatball avatar. And I'm like, oh my god, this is insane. And apparently this artist is called Andrea Radic. And I'm like, I don't want this picture. Like, this is not what I'm in for. Like, I don't care about this guy at the top. I wish the picture was more about the thing on the bottom. And so I told her, hey, here's 20 bucks. I want to support you. I don't want anything. But I love this cat that you have here, and I use it as my avatar. Like, this was my avatar for years. Sorry, I used braids as my avatar for years on Magic the Gathering Online. And this cat made me switch religions. I switched my avatar out because I thought this thing was adorable. And she said, is this what you're talking about? Whoops, I got it upside down. So turns out, Wizards also liked this cat and told her to basically remake the thing again. They liked the cat over here, and they told her, hey, please remake an image with just this cat. So she did, and I got her to, so I ended up buying this thing. I paid 20 bucks, but it's 10 bucks for the, sorry, it's 5 bucks for this thing, 5 bucks for the signature. So I got an Andrea Radic print. This is not very good with the glare, but I'm very happy about that. This is my first artist print I've ever owned. I never buy these things, but like, this is pretty important to me because this is my avatar, people. This is my avatar. She got a lot of cute stuff over there. All right, what next? Okay, so I met a lot of content creators. I met Lord Magicus there. That was great. My head mod had a lot of fun. Long story short, somebody wanted to play me for like, it was at the end of Saturday, and we played like 2.5 hours of Jeskai Control versus Modern Merfolk. I didn't have my Modern Merfolk deck on me, but Lord Magicus did, and so we played for a very long time, 2.5 hours. I slaughtered this kid, but it was a good experience for them. Okay, and then how did we finish the thing off? So we go with Handsome Dan to his home. He shows me his chicken coop. There's a chicken over here. There's Handsome Dan. He treated me to a Philadelphia pizza. And we took the eggs from this thing. Oh, there's MTG Ectoplasm. This actually ended up being a bit of a disaster because the smoke ended up like smoke damaging all my clothes. And I was so self-conscious of this that I had to like stuff my jacket away into my suit, like into my bag, because it was so strong. I felt so bad for anybody who had to sit next to me on the plane. My sweater still, like the hood definitely still smelled a lot like smoke. So my apologies to anyone who had to sit by me on the plane, my plane ride back at home. But it was a really fun. I hadn't had a campfire in like 20 years. Like since I was camping as a kid, maybe even longer than that. So it was a long time since I had a campfire, and it was really comfortable. It was really neat because it was very cold outside. And we made chicken, what was it, like, it was a Philadelphia burger. It's got like egg, bacon, meat. Not sure what else is there. And the egg came from this guy, or one of them at least. One of them chickens. I'm doing great. Yeah, mod goat 100%. Yeah, so thanks. So huge special shout outs for this trip to Handsome Dan for the egg burger, which I ate on the very next day. I had one that night, but I had an extra one to eat at the airport before I went through TSA. Huge shout out to Lord, where's Lord Magicus here? Lord Magicus for lending me his modern deck so I could play. And also just being there and also being a mod for not only the streams, but also for the Discord. Without him, there's no Discord. I just straight up say that. Without him, there's no Discord. And also last shout out to MTG Ectoplasm, great host, fantastic buddy to have over the weekend. He did great, won a lot of prizes. So best to him as well. Can't wait to see. Also, he let me know I could stay over if there's anything near New Jersey, which is fantastic. So I'll be looking for anything that's going on in Edison, like any of the surrounding events that Star City Games or the NRG series or Wizards of the Coast will host around New Jersey. So maybe there will be more events that I could go to over the coming week. You could have washed it at the house before. Yeah, I could have done it. I didn't know how bad it was until the next day. It was just too. It was too late. It was too late. Whenever I get smoked clothes, I smell them endlessly before I wash them. Well, I'm not one of those people. I've washed all my clothes since then. We'd be stoked to have you again. Oh, I'd love to come back again. I had a lot of fun. It was great. All right. So, all right, Boo Crew. No Boo Sheet. This was one of the best Magicons I ever had. I wish they had the con and the tournament on the same floor, but I am no complaints there. So, thank you very much, everyone, for making it possible. Everyone who made it special for me. And as usual, for Coffee and MTG, you got to be here Monday to Friday if you want to be here. 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you very much, everyone, for the supporters. Everyone who's here for the show, everyone who super chats, everyone who supports with memberships or patrons on Patreon, thank you very much. But most importantly, the people who make the specials, everyone in chat. People like Timothy, Handsome Dan, Levy, Monster CC, MTG Ectoplasm, Lauren, and King Ginger, Witherfang. Because without all you guys, hey, I don't have no show. So as usual, my coffee crew, and also to the Boo Crew, Spirit Squad, you keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.